What's up, TIW Mafia? I am JP, and I am here with Big Joe and Brett Stuhler. Brett is a tattoo artist out of New Jersey. The tattoo artist that's Tattooinr, is that what it is? The tattoo shop?
Yeah, our shop is Tattooinr Body Art. Right.
Love it. I'm a Star Wars nerd from way back in the day, so.
Yeah, the people who get not everybody gets that name. They'll say, "Is it Tattooinr?" I'm like, "What are you fucking stupid?" No, it's Tattooinr. Come on.
Well, you're just talking about your beer, and that's why I asked if you called it something out of the cantina.
Yeah. Yep.
What's up, Bobby D in the chat? I see you there. Now, so you're a tattoo artist out of New Jersey, but you kind of took Joe from touring around with the conventions.
Yep.
So you do a little more than tattooing. You tattoo the normal person, but you also get a couple of rock stars and that type of thing coming in there. Is that what the idea is?
Yeah. Well, I mean, when me and Joe were on the tour circuit, I would pick and choose the shows we want to do, obviously. But yeah, what we do is we go around the world basically, and we tattoo at these kind of geeky conventions like the Wizard World. We did Fan Fest, and they're a lot of fun because some of those shows, some of the people that go to those things have never actually seen a tattoo being done. Like they would come up to our booth and say, "Are you actually doing real tattoos?" And I'm like, "Yeah, of course." But occasionally we would have, in fact, it would happen more often than not. You'd have Norman Reedus just stop in our booth. And I remember when I first started doing the tour, which was about 5 years ago now, my buddy Chris 51 said, "Don't fangirl over all these guys coming in." And I'm like, "That's hard for me, dude. I want to fangirl over
me too."
Right. So, but I get it though, because if you fangirl all over them, they don't want to come in the booth, and they would come over, hang out with the tattoo guys. I remember I met Tommy Flanagan in Philly, and he's from Chibs from Sons of Anarchy, and
yeah,
super cool fucking guy. And I remember all I wanted to do was just meet him. Well, I ended up drinking with that dude till 3:00 in the morning, and he says, "I'm going to come and get a fucking tattoo tomorrow. I'm going to come." That's my terrible Scottish accent.
It worked.
Yeah. But he showed up the next morning and we tattooed him, and
that's awesome. That is cool. That is now. What was it like? Like, when did you go from? I mean, and I know you still have a shop that's open to the public in outside of Fort Dix in New Jersey. Mm-hmm. But when did you go from being that every person coming off the street tattoo artist to being the sort of rock star celebrity tattoo artist?
Well, the tour helps. I mean, being associated with that tour, anybody who's on that tour has probably tattooed somebody famous at some point. But I know that I tattooed illegally for years. And then my buddy Chris 51 asked me to join the tour. And once I started joining that, I knew instantly that was changing my life a little bit. But probably the most significant was when I tattooed Morgan from Seven Dust. The drummer, he's one of my best friends now. So when I tattooed him in a hotel room in Butler, New Jersey. And after I tattooed him, a lot of people started kind of coming to me for tattoos that are fans of that band, and other bands would get tattooed from me, and it kind of spiraled that way.
That's awesome. Seven Dust is awesome, first of all.
So good. They're touring right now.
Yeah, I saw them. I saw them a couple of years ago in Connecticut on a part of a festival. It was incredible.
I think they're coming out to whatever the name of the place is, the Great Woods Tweeter Center, right near us.
Nice. I would definitely check that out.
Every night, man.
And when I was up with you on the tour, I hang around with you guys a lot. I came by all the time. You did the tattoo contest with me on the stage that one time.
Yeah,
and that's when I think you and I first really met.
Yep.
Other than just being with the same group and not knowing each other. Now, I've been watching. I've seen. I forget his first name. Glover from In Living Color came in.
Yeah, Corey Glover. Yep.
Corey Glover. Mm-hmm. He came in and got a piece. I don't remember exactly who, but the one I'm trying to get to is I know in Germany I brought Norman Reedus and Jeffrey D. Morgan up to Chris 51's room to get tattooed after hours.
Oh, you were responsible for that.
I was responsible for that one. That's when you get the little skulls.
Yep.
And then the one other one that sticks out in my mind is I think he was getting 3 tattoos at once. It was John Bernthal.
Yeah, I remember that.
He got the 3 pieces at once, both his arms and his leg. Now, I thought it was. I know it was Chris. I think it was Josh Bodwell, and I'm not sure. Was it you?
No, it was Kevin Beckvlar.
Okay.
It was him and Chris. I think it was just those two. But
Okay.
I was not at that show, and I was super pissed I didn't go to that show because I think it was in Portland. Which for me, I'm on the East Coast. I don't do too many West Coast shows. I'll be going to California next month, but I don't do too many of the West Coast. It's too expensive.
Yeah.
But it was Chris and Kevin, and I remember seeing the pictures. I'm like, you mother lucky sons of
like a rock, though. He sat like a rock,
dude. He's just out like this, just getting tatted. You know, that's and plus, from what they told me, everybody told me that week, he was the highlight of the weekend.
Oh yeah, because that's right when Punisher first came out.
Yep. Yeah, that's wild. Yeah, I remember Chris showing me pictures the night because I was at the show that he tattooed Jeffrey D. Morgan and Norman Reedus.
Yeah,
I remember Norman was pretty pissed off that he shared a picture on social media
because that's his label, his trademark for his books, and he uses that skull.
Yep. Yeah. So yeah, Chris showed me pictures of that. That's a hell of a tattoo tandem right there, man. I talked to Norman about tattooing him in Atlanta, but it never happened. So maybe one of these days.
We get a question coming in from the chat room of Bobby D. He wants to know if you tattooed any wrestlers, and if you did, what did they get?
I have never tattooed a wrestler. I've tattooed some guys who want to wrestle me, and that's not my thing. But no, I've never tattooed any wrestlers. Just rock stars, celebrities, athletes.
What do you think about wrestling? That tattoos in wrestling. I don't know if you're a wrestling fan at all.
I was a huge wrestling fan growing up. Like, I don't watch it as much currently, but I'm a diehard old school wrestling fan. In fact, these new documentaries, I think it's on A&E.
Oh yes.
Fuck, they're bro. Look at that! I got that shirt. I have that shirt, Joe.
Oh yeah.
I think those new documentaries are absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
In fact, I had the Hulkamania workout set when I was a kid.
Oh,
you remember that?
Oh yes.
It came with the set. Come on, you little Hulksters! Don't give up now. You know, I would like play that in my bedroom, and I still remember that cassette, man.
Little do you know what he meant by eat your vitamins.
I was eating the wrong vitamins. I don't have both vitamins.
But back then, I don't think the tattoos in wrestling in that age, like those guys were pretty clean with their bodies.
Yep.
But now it's like the Samoan families. They all have the tribal tattoos, like The Rock and his cousins and all of them.
Reigns and the Usos.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I think in general, tattoos have become more socially acceptable in the world.
Yeah. Oh, just a little bit.
Not just in entertainment, but you got nurses getting tattooed all the time and stuff. So, of course, you see, growing up, tattoos were way more taboo. Shit, when I was watching wrestling, I wasn't tattooed.
Tattoos were either a veteran or a biker.
Exactly. Yeah, it's like degenerate shit, and now it's just like everybody's getting them. So you see guys like Randy Orton who are covered, or Batista, or I remember when my son was watching wrestling heavy, man. CM Punk, he had some cool ass tattoos. He had like G.I. Joe, and he had the Pepsi symbol, and I thought those were cool. But I was saying before we went live, I feel like a lot of these guys, because they're on the road so much and they're doing so much, especially in the ring, they don't have as much time to get quality stuff, big pieces.
Right.
I'd like to sit down with a wrestler and do something badass, like The Rock has got, but he's got time to do that shit now.
Oh yeah.
Dude's in between by Nico and the other guy who just covered up or reworked Nico's thing.
There's a couple of guys coming up now. Like I know Josh Briggs is just making his debut in the WWE, and he has full sleeves. Joe, you've seen Josh Briggs, and you don't know what his sleeves are, though, do you?
No, I haven't seen him that close. I know him, but every time I talk to him, it was always.
He has something like 21 or 22 different DC characters built into his sleeves, but you would never know it from a distance.
Right. See, that's what I would love to do, something like that. Because
it's all muted. It's all kind of muted, where yours are all your words kind of bright, it's like a sticker.
Yeah, I want to see. I want to see it from across the room. I would love to have that opportunity on somebody like that's high profile. I think that's every tattooer's dream to put your mark on them to where when they're in the ring, you know exactly what you're looking at from a distance. That's cool as hell.
No. Now, Josh Richards, who's part of the show, part of the family here, and has It's funny he's asking this question because he has arrows on his fingers. But
Nice.
what's the strangest tattoo you've ever given?
And where?
Well, I just did it's not the strangest, but I just did this real pretty girl just came and got her sternum all the way down to her home address. Just did that. That was pretty cool. Strangest I ever did. I can tell you the strangest request I ever had that I completely turned down. I had a dude who was a local kind of scratcher tattooer asked me if I would tattoo a devil holding a blender with a fetus in it, getting ready to hit the on switch. I'll never forget that. I'm like, why?
Yeah.
He goes, well, because I'm anti-abortion and I don't agree with that kind of shit. I'm like, bro, that's fucking stupid. I'm not doing that. So that was definitely the weirdest request I read.
I took that the opposite way.
So
I can see why you say. I can see why you say no to that.
Yeah, that's
you were thinking you wanted to blend it,
right?
Yeah,
make a baby milkshake.
That's
well.
Now, is there anything? Yeah. Is there anything that's too taboo on like face tattoos, neck tattoos, anything like that?
Not these days. It sure seems like everybody's getting tattooed no matter where, you know. But more lower stomach tattoos on chicks, tons of under boob tattoos. That's something that's gotten really popular the past couple of years. Like,
JP, Brett can give you an under boob tattoo.
I could get it under.
Yeah,
so you're not far off.
That's been like the new fad for chicks, man. It's like they call them titty chandeliers. So.
Now, what I think JP was trying to get to with that question was, you ever tattoo a dick? Or would you? You would, but you haven't yet.
No, I haven't, and I really there's like a $10,000 handling fee for that, so I wouldn't do it.
But what if it's only 2 fingers?
I mean, I can listen. I'm weak. I mean, I might be coerced into anything at this point. Who gives a shit? The fuck? I mean, as long as he's like getting something cool, you know, like.
All right, we'll get 2 bottles of bourbon when we go down, JP.
Boom, there you go. Am I going to need 2 people to handle it, or is he, you know?
No, it's like a broken Tic Tac.
Oh, yeah, I can handle that. I mean,
yeah, it's
small
like
deals. We'll bring up the
2 dots. It's done.
Now, what's your favorite tattoo you've done?
Oh God, I got a lot. I never suck my own cock too hard, right? So, but there's several tattoos that I've done recently that have been like some of my favorites. Most notably, I did a Lion-O from Thundercats on somebody, which was it's probably my favorite. I recently did a Castle Grayskull. I'm huge into Master Universe and all the 80 cartoon stuff. So Master Universe is like one of my favorite things. So anything Master Universe related, I'm always about. I did a Star Wars tattoo recently that came out really good. Anything geek related, man, are like some of my favorites.
Now, with
and usually it's like if I try not to pigeonhole myself into like, oh, well, this is my new favorite, because like it's really just about the client, you know, and they come to me first to execute something that they want, not that I want. So I try to really give not just a good tattoo, but a really good tattoo experience. And I think that's why we do so well here, is because when people walk in the door, all my artists in here, we try to treat everybody so like friendly, you know, like we open the doors up, we give them a shot of whiskey. We have fun. We have fun here, man.
That was going to be my next question. Do you share the bourbon? Do you share the whiskey?
Always.
It's
always.
the opposite here. I don't think they can here.
No, we're allowed here as long as our township didn't. In fact, when I got my tattoo license in this shop, the Board of Health was doing our inspection, and I purposely waited until we passed before I asked. We passed our inspection. I said, "Hey, are we allowed to like drink in here?" And she goes, "Of course, as long as the township's okay with it." I'm like, "Can I give it to clients?" Because I've been tattooed by artists, and they've given me like old fashions and shit. I'm like, "This is classier than hell," you know. I wanted that, so pretty much almost weekly we'll go. Somebody in here will go buy another bottle. We'll take turns. And we always get around the counter here and we pour shots for everybody and drink. Don't get out of hand, of course, but you know, we'll have a couple shots each.
Tattooing, I've been tattoos.
Joe was out in the Navy getting YMCA tattooed on himself. But Boston was in like a prohibition for tattoos up until, 10, 15 years ago, Joe?
Yeah. It was
New York as well, right? New York City for a while, too?
New York City was for a while, but Boston was the last holdout. But Massachusetts in general was one of the last holdouts. And, I mean, it was only, maybe 20 years ago when they started selling alcohol on Sundays.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were way behind.
It's strange like that, but, like, thinking of, I remember JP told me back in the day one of the tattoos he wants the Smurf Village on his ass.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a big village.
Sign me up for that shit.
All right, that's 3 bottles of bourbon now.
Right before.
But
I drink a lot, man. I drink a lot of fucking booze. You can pretty much talk me into just about anything.
We used to have to go to New Hampshire and get shitty tattoos.
Yeah.
Like you couldn't even get.
You just come here. You can come here and get shitty tattoos. Just give me 4 bottles of bourbon. I'll fuck your shit.
Now, do people, because of the name of the shop, the Tattooinr Body Art, do people assume like it's all Star Wars stuff?
Yeah, I mean, well, the people who get it, of course. Like we have people that literally come in here just to see the shop. Like it's a nerdseum.
Like if I went in there, I would want like the blueprint of the Millennium Falcon tattooed on me.
Absolutely,
straight up,
as you should,
straight up. That would be my
all the Star Wars tattoos. These guys in here don't get any Star Wars tattoos. If there's a Star Wars tattoo coming in the door, God damn it, I want to do it. So I try to always wrestle for that one.
But I think that would be a cool back piece.
A blueprint of the Falcon?
The Falcon, yeah.
I think I can actually get downloads of almost every Star Wars thing blueprint. Like, I was going to do like blueprints of all the droids on my own leg, just tattoo them myself. Okay. I actually have an F-14. I'm a huge fan of the movie Top Gun, so I have a blueprint of the F-14 Tomcat on my thigh. So I was like, I'm going to stick with this blueprint theme. I hate getting tattooed, so I may as well just get a couple outlines and say, screw it, call it a day.
Now, you hate getting tattooed?
These days, fuck yeah, I hate it. I'm running out of easy spots, so it's like,
okay,
it sucks.
Have you done a lot of your own? Like, have you actually tattooed yourself a lot?
I've done a few. I've done a lot of my right arm because I'm left-handed. I finished my leg. I've got tight shorts on, and without showing my my fucking wang, I wouldn't be able to show it. But I finished my
stand up. Let's see the Wookiee.
I have a tattoo I started like 10 years ago. Like it was a tiger, so I turned it into Cringer from He-Man, and I finished that over COVID, and it came out fucking awesome. It's the first tattoo I finished on myself, probably in about 5 or 6 years. But it came out really good.
Joe, you start. I only have one, so.
Oh, I'll start. It's a toss-up, but I'm going to have to go here. It's the anchor and the POW flag from when I was in the Navy.
Nice.
And the anchor has the hull number for the ship I was on.
That's awesome.
That's my favorite.
I only have one, and it's not good. I have my last name is Griffin, so I thought it was a griffin when I saw it on the clip art. It's actually a Welsh dragon. Shout out to my cousin Brian DeMecco for pointing that out every time he sees me. But he also has a sleeve full of flowers, so
he just likes flowers.
That's it. Yeah. That he hid from his mother until he was like 25.
When we get
how do you hide a sleeve full of flowers?
The long sleeves through the summers in Boston.
Oh, sounds like hell.
Well, JP, we got to get down to New Jersey and get your Welsh dragon turned into an actual griffin.
Yeah, I have pictures of what I wanted.
I can cover that up, man. I can cover that up for sure.
It's easy because there's not the only part of cut that has any color on it is the wings, so it should be pretty. I don't like needles.
I don't either.
But no.
I used to have to give blood, man, all the time. Like give blood or shots, and I would just like just zonk out.
I'll do shots with you. I'm not sober. That's Joe. So we had definitely knocked down. We'll bring an extra bottle. But now, is there a tattoo that you've seen that just made you go, damn, I wish I did that one?
A lot. A lot of the Motu ones, I can't think of one specifically, but I know Nico Hurtado is like one of my idols, man. I took a seminar with him last year? But last year didn't fucking exist. Let's just forget 2020. So yeah, it was the year before last year. We went to New York City and did a seminar with Nico. And man, this guy just does the amazing, like, not only does he do amazing work, but he gets to do the most amazing shit. So like, that was my goal, like, to stop taking so much stuff that I really don't want to do, give it out to the other artists and be able to do stuff that I want to do. But he did the one that I remember him doing he did a realistic looking C-3PO, and the thing was shining, and I never could have executed it the way he did, but it's just incredible. Also, my buddy Chris 51, I literally stole his style 1,000%, and I told him straight up, I'm gonna rip your style off, because I worked next to him for so long and watched how he tattooed, and his tattoos. I mean, Joe, you know, Chris's tattoos are so bright.
It's unreal how he can get that much ink and color into a small space. Now,
Yep.
And I've also, and I'm sure you have too, seen his tattoos come back a year, 2-3 years later, and it's like it was just done.
They're
like,
bulletproof.
You touch it, you feel like you're gonna get ink on your finger.
Yeah, it's just It just does bulletproof work. And I know he's kind of like he's transitioning out of tattooing, and he's focused on Headbangers Con as am I and stuff like that. But his color work was something that I was just like, okay, I'm going to do exactly what he does. I'm going to watch what he does. I'm going to annoy the shit out of him and ask him a million questions. And Chris never made me feel weird about it.
That's
He was,
awesome.
I think he was always like a little like, dude, stop, stop comment. I'm like, dude, I can't help it. Your tattoos are awesome. But he was way cool with showing me how he did stuff. And I just was a student and just paid attention.
Yeah, no, it's always good when you have someone who he probably doesn't see it as this type of relationship, but you probably do when you have that type of mentor.
Mm-hmm.
And he probably doesn't see it as like a mentor-student relationship, just two friends hanging out, and you asking advice.
Best friends. I mean, like, we've been best friends now for almost 6 years, and he stayed at my house. I've done conventions with him, and we host the shows together. But he's one of my best friends, and but I always pay homage to the guys who helped me along my way. You know what I mean? Like, and he was definitely one of those guys that I was just like, I'm stealing everything he does.
Now I'm looking at like that deck you got hanging on your back of your wall there, and you got a couple action figures there. The Garbage Pail Kid, you're clearly a collector too.
Oh yeah.
What do you What's your main collection?
I have a lot. I pretty much only collect vintage stuff, except for the stuff in the shop. The stuff in the shop is like what I call disposable collectibles, because I can just replace all that stuff.
Right.
But I have every figure mint on card from Masters of the Universe from 1985 to 87, I think it is. So it's 68 mint figures. The collection is worth a shitload of money. So I have every single one of those. I have every Kenner Superpower figure, which is probably my favorite toy line ever. Got a bunch of mint on card Thundercats, those old mask box.
Oh yeah, man! I thought I was the only person that remembered that. I had that. I had the gas station with the that fucking came down and shit.
Boulder Hill, baby.
Yes, yes.
Big bucks. But I have like all that stuff in box. Like I got a bunch of shit here actually.
Back in the day, for people who don't know, today toys aren't made for kids. Toys are made for. There's collectibles that are made to be collected by collectors.
Yep.
And there's toys that are made to be played with.
Mm-hmm.
And the toys that are made to be played with don't look as cool as the collectible stuff. But back in the day, we didn't have that. You had toys that were meant to be played with. So you opened your box up. You didn't leave it in the package the way people do now. And you played with the stuff. So when you have when you say you have all the original Masters of the Universe mint on card.
Yep.
That's like a extremely rare collection.
I'm one of I think 3, maybe 4 people I know that have the entire run. I know there's guys who have a really good clean run, but I know like a lot of the Mode 2 collector community. I know my collection's pretty rare. I don't know how rare, but I know it's pretty rare. And I also know I have a mint on card Cyborg from Kenner Superpowers. And someone offered me $2,000 for it. I have one of the highest graded in the world. He offered me $2,000. I turned it down because I know I'd have to find another one because I'm a psycho like that.
But and you would need to find one in better condition.
100%.
I understand the mentality.
Well,
I do.
You give him the collectible. You take the $2,000. You're eventually going to spoil it. Spend the $2,000, and then you have nothing.
Right.
So you just keep it.
Yeah.
Eventually,
so I need to sell it. I'm not going. I love it. Like,
yeah.
But when I go into my room and I see every Master Universe figure ever put out, I'm like, dude. I mean, how many people can say they got that? I got them all. Like, I've had people come to my house and been like, dude, like how? Like, I'm like, dude, it was 3 years of full-fledged commitment, and I bought my first figure when I did like my second show with the Geek Strength Legends store. At some guy had a Battle Armor Skeletor, and I said, "How much you want for it?" I think he said $130. I'm like, "I'll take it." So I bought it, and I was just like, "God damn it, I am in so much trouble right now because I'm obsessive with completing shit."
It's like potato chips; you can't just have one.
Nope.
See, I don't collect. I have maybe 20 WWE action figures, but I collect the ones that I like. So that way I don't feel like I have to complete the set because I'm buying the Paul Orndorffs, who just passed away.
Right.
The Rick Rudes, the guys that meant something to me back in the day, or people that me and Joe have watched come up and wrestle, like Ivar, I had to have his first figure. And stuff like that just, it means something to me, so I'll never sell them.
Right.
But it's if I was a completist, I wouldn't have even ventured down that rabbit hole because
it's bad. I spent there's one figure in the Motu collection named Twistoid, and I didn't realize how rare that figure was until he was the last one I needed. I was like, this is unreal. So one of my buddies who's a very high-end auctioneer, makes a ton of money, said, I got one. I said, how much you want for it? He goes, $900. So I was like, I'll take it. Let's go. And that was it. It was complete. But
I hope you get that all insured.
What's that?
You have that insured?
It's hard to insure. That's the tough thing about collectibles. It's really hard to insure collectibles. There's companies that do it, but it's really hard.
What are they worth? Are they worth $900 or are they worth the $995 that they were sold for?
Exactly. Very tough to get fair market value from an insurance. But if my house burns down, you better believe I got a receipt for everything I ever paid. In fact, when this shop burned down, I got reimbursed for everything. It didn't burn down, but we had water damage in my whole shop. I got reimbursed for everything.
Nice.
So yeah.
Now, keep your stuff.
Well, how dangerous is it being a collector and working the conventions?
Oh, God. Well, there's two things. It's like being a collector and also a booze drinker. So I try to literally just go to these things and break even. That's always fun.
Okay.
If I do enough tattoos to break even and come home with a couple toys or whatever, I'm pretty happy.
I actually remember seeing you walking around the floor, kind of with your hands like this, and it's all sweat. And you're like, and I can tell you, everyone had a few drinks during the day, but you're sitting there like this, and you're just kind of walking around this like few booths. And now I know what was going on. Mm-hmm. You were trying to contemplate which of the few things you wanted to buy because you saw more than you wanted to spend.
Yep. There's always one dude there who has a ton of vintage shit. He knows me by name now. I'll go there and I'll try to beat him up a little bit. Like, come on, bro. Give me that box of fucking 1986 Fleer cards right now. Give me a deal.
Have you ever traded a tattoo for a collectible?
I'm trying to think. No, but I've gotten not that I remember, but I have gotten so many gifts open in this shop. Half the stuff I would say half, maybe a third of the stuff in here is donated by somebody. I had a dude literally walk in. I was tattooing his wife, and they spent a shitload of money on these tattoos. He brought a giant box of stuff in that was like holy grail shit. He just, it's just sitting in my garage. I don't need it anymore. I just want you to have it. You can hang it up here. Just if you resell it, let me know, and I'd like to either have it back or buy it back from you. It's just like, bro, what? I'm not going to sell it. It's going to be displayed in here. I'm looking at like 17 things on the ceiling over there that he gave me. So people are way too generous, man. They give us tons of stuff here.
That's nice,
including booze.
Do people show up with booze to get their tattoos?
Almost every day.
Now, have you ever had to turn someone away because they were too drunk?
We've had to flag 3 people, and I remember 3 people. So that's how rare it happens.
Yeah,
we're pretty good. We're pretty good with keeping our, like, especially me and my other artist Tyler. We're good with keeping our finger on the pulse of how much someone's having. Occasionally, we'll leave a bottle out on the counter, and we'll have a good friend start serving themselves when we're not looking, and that's happened 3 times. So,
okay,
and they get flagged after that.
I like the way you called them. It's a good friend.
That's it, good friend.
But that's now because they used to tell us back, and I think this was a New Hampshire thing because we used to have to go to New Hampshire to get our tattoos. Mm-hmm. But that you couldn't go in drunk because of it thins your blood.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely we won't tattoo if you come in drunk. Our plaza, our shop is in a plaza with a pub that we go there all the time. So occasionally we'll get people come in here and they're just toasted. I guest spotted a shop last week, and there was a guy in there who was pretty toasted. They tattooed him anyway, and it depends on how cooked the guy is, but you got to drink a ton of booze for it to like really affect the tattoo. Like, you know what you're doing. You should. It's for me. It's more just you're going to be annoying the whole time. You're going to be moving. You're going to be chatting in my face. Like that's more what it's about. I remember I was tattooing my cousin one time, and he was completely obliterated. And he was like moving all around and stuff like that. That's more annoying to me than having to deal with like a little bit of a bloody tattoo,
That's now how much cover-ups do you have to do?
Cover-ups, I do quite a bit. I hate doing cover-ups, but recently you asked earlier about my favorite tattoo. I've done a couple tattoos recently that were cover-ups that are some of my favorite tattoos. One was a Spawn tattoo. If anybody wants to see it, it's on my Instagram. That was a cover-up, and a Wolverine tattoo that was also a cover-up that was all tribal.
Give out your Instagram real quick.
Brett Stuhler Tattoos.
Oh, like it says there.
Right there, yep.
Now you said the Spawn tattoo. There's an underground, he's battle rapper is what he is, underground rapper, YouTube, whatever, Daylight, and he has a Spawn tattoo, but he has the mask around his eyes, but it's in the glow in the dark.
Oh, ink? Oh, really?
So you don't see it too much because he's black. You don't see it too much, but when it glows, it glows.
On it, you'll see it. Wow.
Which is
I don't mess with too much of the UV stuff. One of my apprentice here, he just got some UV ink, and he did the Assassin's Creed logo on somebody, and he outlined it with that. And we got the black light, and it was glowing, man. It was pretty cool. But I don't really like messing with the black light inks too much.
Okay. Now, what other do you have a style like this? I know like there's guys that specialize in certain ends of tattoos.
Like Japanese traditional Americana.
Right.
I like doing I just call them color bombs. I just like doing bright, bold color tattoos, anything comic or kind of geeky related. But I like doing black and gray too. I had someone say to me, I know you hate doing black and gray. I'm like, who the fuck told you that? I love doing black and gray. I do it all the time, but
where you cut your teeth.
What's that?
It's where you cut your teeth.
Yeah, exactly, dude. I mean, like black and gray is like it's tattooing 101. If you can't do that, you shouldn't tattoo. But I definitely prefer doing bright, bold color stuff.
Now, what would you recommend to someone getting their first tattoo?
Get dicks.
Okay.
Get dicks. Lots of dicks.
The dick and ball. Just the dick.
Waterfall of dick.
Yeah.
Like just the dick or dick and ball? Like
Just
you want the whole thing?
No, just the dick. The balls are gross. Get a Chinese star made out of dicks.
But I feel like the balls give you a little more aim. Like you can put hair on them and shit. It gives you a little more to work with.
Yeah, but then people know it's a dick. If you get like a yin yang made out of dick, it might not look like a dick, and so people get that. Oh.
Our former apprentice here got a goddamn tattoo from somebody who specializes in dickfish tattoos. I forget the artist's name, but this is an amazing form of art. He literally did a fish, but the head of the fish is a cock. And I'm like everything on his Instagram is nothing but dickfish. So she got one, and I was just like, "Oh
my god,
it's brilliant!" But it's
I just Googled it.
You see it, dickfish, and
some of them you wouldn't know from a distance.
You get like the little goldfish, like the gold dickfish. It's crazy. Like I didn't even hear this. I didn't even know who this guy was until she showed me her marlin. That's a cock. I was like, this is crazy.
That's crazy.
Was it a a Marcock or a Coughlin. Coughlin. Now
we got to name that one.
Now, I think I spoke to you about this before when we were on the circuit. That, of course, I want to get a piece by you. I want to get a piece by Chris, by Josh, the whole crew. Mm-hmm. And I think what I want to do is, my interest. You can tell someone's interest by what they already have. Mm-hmm. I want to go into you and be like, give me what you think I want. I'm not going to, hey, whatever. You think I want to get an anchor or a Muppet, whatever. Because I do want Muppets on my back. But whatever, I definitely, those pictures, like it's like, it's all jumbled up, kind of like a Where's Waldo. But if you see like the dog over here, he's chasing the cat that's up over here. I want to get that with Muppets or cartoons.
Oh, nice.
Who has a really good Muppet tattoo is Hornswoggle.
Oh, from
WWE, the midget from WWE, the leprechaun. Yeah. When he got Independence.
Oh, okay.
But he has a pretty cool. He was in the last Muppet movie.
Nice.
So he got a Muppets tattoo and showed it to the Muppets on the Muppet movie.
Oh, that's great. The movie with Segel, I think his name is, or Jason Segel.
And
yes,
yeah,
dude, people shit on that movie. I loved it. I thought it was. I
loved it too. I'm a giant Muppet fan.
Me too. Like, dude, when it came back on Disney Plus, I was so stoked. We watched
I haven't watched it yet because I'm afraid. I don't want to ruin what I remember, so I haven't watched it.
Well, let's keep it real. Those shows, listen, they don't age great, but they're still very good. Like there's ones like I watched one with Kenny Rogers, I watched one with Rocky, Star Wars. Like there's some really good ones in there.
The Mark Hamill one was great.
Oh yeah, so good. The Rocky one was amazing too.
But that's back then. They got the A stars.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. John Denver was my favorite one.
Oh,
with Kermit.
Yep, another great one.
And like, what my Muppet cartoon back piece I want to start with Statler and Waldorf on the back of my head.
Nice.
Peeking out of my collar.
My God.
Go down from there. But
that's amazing.
Someday.
Yeah.
But so what I was getting at with that, have you ever had any people walk in and just be like, give me a tattoo?
Happens rare. Usually I try to get to know them a little bit and ask what their interests are, because I don't want to just give them what I want to do, as much as I'd love to just do. Because 9 out of 10 times, if I say, "Oh, cool, I'm going to do a Batman," oh, well, hold on, I don't want to do a Batman. So why don't you tell me a little bit about yourself? What do you like? And we'll go from there.
Yeah.
But that happens all the time. People are like, "Yeah, I just want to get a tattoo from you." Okay, cool. Well, what do you like? And I try to accommodate them. You know what I mean? Like sometimes it's stuff that I'm not even really into. You're like, well, I'm into flowers and I'm into tarantulas. And I'm like, okay, cool. Let's fucking do a flower and a tarantula. It doesn't always have to be geek related. I want to make the person happy if they're spending a lot of money,
Yeah.
Right. Tattoos, I think over the past 20 years have become a part of geek culture. But before that, it was part of the rebel culture, like you guys were talking about before. So it's like, it is an accepted form now, to the point where, you couldn't get a job having sleeves before. Yeah, now you can get a job with tattoos on your hands, tattoos on your necks, and you can walk into a place and get a job.
Well, like I've seen places before. I remember looking for jobs back in the day, and it's like no visible tattoos. Now you're seeing on the notice, tattoos acceptable.
I worked for
no facial tattoos.
I worked for a big box store for a while, and their rule, because we were in the city, you could have tattoos that were visible. You just couldn't have curse words or anything offensive.
Yep. Yeah, it's like socially acceptable, like even like with Amazon, stuff like big corporations are not promoting it, but they're like encouraging their employees to express themselves, which is a weird thing, because growing up, it was taboo. It was degenerate shit. It was bikers. Like I grew up in the town that I'm in. It was nothing but biker tattoo shops. And when I first started getting tattooed, I got a Captain America. And I remember people saying, like, why would you get a Captain America tattoo? Now everybody gets Captain America tattoos.
Tina Weber, who's one of our regular listeners, actually with her whole family, just said, "Oh my fucking God, it's Brett Stuhler." So
what's up, Tina?
And So when me and JP come down, you're gonna know I want something geek, cartoon, Muppet. You're probably gonna give me the Statler and Waldorf, which I hope. And JP wants the Dickfish.
Listen, we can incorporate a Dickfish into the fucking Muppet piece too. You know, we're not
Statler and Waldorf are riding a Dickfish.
Today's episode is brought to you by Omio. Omio is a travel booking platform that makes planning a journey in Europe and North America effortless. Just enter your travel details and Omio will magically give you all the train, bus, flight, and ferry options for your journey. It's never been simpler to book your first real vacation for 2021. Best of all, using Omio saves you time and money. That's a win-win in our books. Omio wants to help you leave your house this summer by offering 5% off your next booking. Just head to omio.com and use the code OMIO5 at checkout. Valid until July 31st for new users on all modes of transport. It's just the pick-me-up 2021 needs. Omio. Plan, book, and love the journey. Terms and conditions apply.
Oh.
Now, I have to spin a wheel. We give away a figure every week. I have to spin the wheel.
Can I get on the wheel?
You want to get on the wheel? Yeah, we're giving away. So what we normally do is we normally pick just a random figure, and it's what winds up happening is we pick the same figures over and over. So I reached out to one of our friends and listeners, Nick Haddix, who listens with his three boys every week, and I told them to pick the figure. Okay. And they picked the Seamus Elite, the most recent Seamus Elite thing, which is really actually a nice figure. So that's what we're giving away. I just have to share my screen here, and then I'll mix the names up and everything. I like to do that so people can see it. Yeah, what we do is we do a tweet every week about it, and anyone who retweets it gets on there, but Brett Stuhler is now on there. Who's not on there is Big Joe.
No, I don't like this show. Thanking God for all my people who ain't letting me stop. What I should have done is I might do this in the future for a different time, kind of mix things up. Because I'm going to order some of your stickers. I'm going to give them away.
I'll donate a shitload. I got tons of stuff.
All right, JP, you want to spin the wheel twice?
Yeah, we can do that.
All right, we're gonna swim it. Oh, Tina says, "Oh my God, hi." We're gonna spin the wheel twice, guys.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
oh my God,
one for the stickers.
All right, so what do we do? First one for the stickers.
Yeah, I just need whoever wins it. Just shoot me their address. I'll give you like one of everything.
Sure. All right, so first one.
I won.
I'll give you some too, Jeff. I'm gonna drink this fucking bottle while we're doing this.
So we're not playing spin a bottle, Brett.
You sure?
Wait till we get down.
So Short McShort, I actually have his address, so I'll send that to you because he just won the figure not too long ago.
Okay, cool.
And now I'm going to shuffle the names up a little more again.
It would have sucked, Brett, if you won the stickers, huh?
You were the next. You were the next name. And we'll spin that up again. This is for the figure, guys. This is for the Seamus Elite. And Ben as Bosmith.
Ben as Bosmith.
One of our regular. He's on this every week. So a lot of the people don't come on live. They
they'll download it later, listen to it, things like that.
So is it a mint and box figure? Is it a like
Yeah. So what I do is when they win it, I order it then. I don't order it and then because then I pay to ship it twice, you know what I mean?
Yeah. That's
so
awesome.
I find a figure I know I can get, and I order it off of like Amazon. I think this one's going to come from Amazon this week, so I'll use my Prime. But there's a couple of collectible sites where I know I can find them.
Awesome.
Yeah, mint in box. If they want to let them breathe, they can open them up. But I'm a mint in box guy for my figures. Mint in
box guy.
They don't get to breathe?
Nope.
Do you have any that you want to open?
Oh God, I want to open all of them. I want to open all of them. I just don't.
Them fighting each other. Like
I mean,
on the floor, some chocolate milk, and just make them fight.
Yeah.
No, you don't even
So,
have to do that.
so hold on. I did open one. So I think it was a WWE Elite. I got the new Mr. T one.
Oh, yes.
Had to open that. Mr. T is one of my favorite characters, like, ever. I collect everything Mr. T.
Same here.
So I did open that one. Like, and like, dude, it came with the belt and his chains, and I'm like, dude, this is fucking
Did you buy
awesome.
two? Did you buy two of them and open one?
Nope. I only got one. I can only get one. I spent $100 on it. That was a lot. So I had to get it though. I actually have the old school A-Team Mr. T. I have that because that's one of the nicest ones in the world. And I also have the box one, the box Mr. T. It's like the 12-inch guy.
I had every one of those A-Team figures. Not that there was a lot of them, but that was the thing. Like I would always go up to. We had a little toy store in Southie, and I'd always and Joe. They had everything. Did they not?
That's where I got the 18 figures and the van.
This store was the size of a shoebox. It was definitely a fire hazard. But you'd go in and be like, "Oh, I need the A-Team figure. I need the Mr. T or the Face or the Hannibal." Mm-hmm. And they got this little old guy would disappear in the back somewhere and would come back with whatever you asked for, and usually one more of something else that you might want.
Now let me ask you this: the A-Team figures, you had the A-Team, but did you have the yellow carded villains as well?
No. I don't remember the villains.
Those are hard to find, especially in good condition. Like I've never seen when those figures were out. I never even thought they had villains. I just thought it was like the A-Team.
Right. That's all I remember.
Yellow carded villains.
See, I didn't think. I thought I was the only one that remembered. And like the mask. When you said mask, I was like, yes, I'm not the only one. Like I had that. Let me tell you, I played with that gas tent, that gas station, and I remember the helicopter that changed to the motorcycle and the red car that changed to the plane. I played with those till long before I should have, long after I should have.
I played with toys up until I started skateboarding, and then that was it. Like,
me and Joe, I went to high school with the kid, and Joe worked with the kid. He actually was the one who reconnected me and Joe at some point that had, I don't want to say he had every G.I. Joe figure, but he had a ton of them. And he was not a mint and cart guy. They were all out of the box. Mm-hmm. And every time you went over his house, they were moved.
Oh, okay.
So you think what you will. But I kind of imagine that Mike Pankovich was going pew, 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 pew.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
That's awesome.
Absolutely.
Now, what's your grill? Like, is there a piece that's eluded you your whole time?
Collectible-wise?
Yes.
The G.I. Joe USS flag.
Oh, man.
I'd love to have that mitten box. I don't know where the fuck I'd put it because it's massive.
Right. I couldn't get it as a kid because my parents, that was always their excuse. It was too big.
It was $100. As a kid, it was $100.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's one. I almost got it a couple years ago because I have everything. I think at this point in my collecting career, I have everything I want with the exception of comics. Like I'm trying to collect keys of comics. But the USS flag, there was an open box but sealed contents, 25 minutes from my house, and the lady wanted $1,500 for it. This is worth way more than $1,500.
Yeah.
So she said it's already sold, and I'm like, of course it's already sold. I told her I'd give her $3,000 for it, and she didn't take it. She stuck with $1,500. So I thought I was going to get it. I didn't get it. So
now I want to jump back to wrestling real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I want to, if you were to become a wrestler, now you mentioned you were in Florida, you went to an indie show, and now I want you to become a wrestler or some part of that show. I want you to give me your character name. I want you to give me, kind of describe what you would look like and throw out your catchphrase.
Okay. The catchphrase part will be hard, but so when I was down there, I watched local wrestling, and it was fun as hell. And my buddy Ty, who runs the wrestling down there, said, "Hey, next time you come down, we'll put you in it.
If you know the promotion, throw it out."
Oh God, he's gonna kill me. I don't know the name of the actual wrestling league, but they're in Bradenton, in Florida, and it's an amazing organization. Like there were so many people there; it was great. Free booze, I loved it. But he said we're gonna put you in a suit. We'll cut the sleeves off, and you're gonna be my enforcer. We'll call you the enforcer. Put some sunglasses on you. We'll give you a fancy cup. We'll put some bourbon in it. And I'm like, oh my God, it's like my regular day, but with a suit jacket. So he's like, we'll show you how to hit people with a chair and throw a punch and all that stuff. So I don't know. The catchphrase? Put me on. I mean, life's a bourbon and I'm just drinking it. I don't know. Like,
that works. Or you spill my bourbon.
I like that too. I don't know. I have to think of the catchphrase one. I didn't even really.
Well, don't think of it. It'll come.
Yeah.
It'll just come. You'll say something. You'll be like, I like that.
Yeah.
Well, that's like the whole Austin 316 thing. That's huge.
Yeah.
That came like he just spit it out. And now it's one of the most famous catchphrases in wrestling history.
Yeah, he didn't think anything of it till the next night when there were signs.
I like the Piper. The Piper. Roddy Piper's my favorite wrestler ever.
Oh yeah.
And, when they were the Hulk and Piper and Macho, but something about Piper, man. Like I love the heel kind of guys, And he watching that A&E documentary, him like with all of his notepads, like the guy thought out everything,
right?
He thought out his script, and like I just admired his work ethic. And that catchphrase means just like every time they think they got all the answers, I ask different questions, or I
change the question.
I change the question, right? I mean, dude's my favorite wrestler. I can't remember his fucking catchphrase, but
even out of They Live. In the movie They Lived, I came to chew bubble gum and take names, and I'm all out of bubble. To kick ass and chew bubble gum, and I'm all out of bubble gum.
Yep.
That came out of his book, and they put it into the movie.
Yep.
And how like famous did that become?
Dude, and by the way, that's probably the most underrated fight scene in any movie ever. Those dudes brought the shit in that, hitting each other with trash cans. I watched the behind the scenes of that. Those two went at it, like for real. Yeah.
They were like really hitting each other. That was but that was, and it's incredible. Like that documentary was insane.
Yeah.
Have you yet to watch it?
You didn't watch the Piper one?
I'll have to get it on demand.
To me, it's the best one so far. I mean, like the Macho was good, the Stone Cold was good, but the Piper one is by far my favorite.
Yeah, I agree. And I think it's because I grew up on Piper, and my grandmother loved Piper, even when he was a bad guy. So it was like I always got to watch him.
Mm-hmm.
Well, even with the Macho Man and say Hulk Hogan and Andre the Giant, a lot of people already knew about their outside the ring life.
Yeah,
no one knew anything about Piper.
No.
Yeah. I remember the one episode on Piper's Pit when he smashed Snuka.
Yeah.
I'll never like I remember as a kid thinking, yo, this is real. Like this dude's really lost his fucking marbles.
Well, and, that was real.
Coconut, he was like degrading him, and like I was just like, oh my God, this is nuts. I was like a little scared.
And then he grabbed the wrong coconut.
Yeah.
And if I remember right, that was one of the first shows where they broke set.
Yep.
Where they knocked down the set, and now that's commonplace.
Yep.
Right.
But that was one of the first places that did that, and it made the air.
Yeah. It was such a wild episode. And I just remember thinking as a kid, like, this is the craziest thing I've ever seen. And wrestling is all, even into like the Attitude Era and stuff, like it was always fun. But I always go back to as a kid watching Piper's Pit and Hulk Hogan and Randy and the Road Warriors and Ric Flair and Dusty Rhodes. Like all those dudes were literally superheroes to me.
Well, you can't forget the lesser known Flower Shop by Adrian.
Oh, yeah. Very lesser known.
Yes.
Well, yeah, I mean, the flower shop didn't have a barbershop window or a coconut scene. So
yeah.
Well, there might have been a couple of coconut scenes in there after the filming.
Bring us back to the cockfish.
Yes.
Cockfish.
I
love your guys' accents, by the way.
We don't think we have them. You have it.
The cockfish.
Like with Tina recognizing you from the chat room, it's got me thinking, like, does that happen a lot to you now?
What's that?
Like that you get recognized for your artwork, for being Brett Stuhler of Tattoos.
In my town, for sure. I mean, people know who I am here. When I go on the road, like, when I just went to Florida, I had 7 tattoos booked when I went down there. So that was it's nice to go places outside of my own area and be able to tattoo. But but I'm not like famous or nothing. Like, like I know people that like love Seven Dust and love Tommy Flanagan, saw me tattoo those guys, and I guess there's some kind of weight that holds. But I just appreciate anybody who wants to come and get tattooed from me.
Well, yeah, because if somebody gets tattooed, if someone loves Seven Dust, which Seven Dust is a great band who I've been able to see on tour, and they want to if they're big fans and they get tattooed by you, then the 6 degrees of separation is now 1.
Yeah. Yep.
So and if they want to get like a tribute tattoo to Seven Dust, who better to go to than someone that's done their tattoos and is friends with them?
Yeah, and I've done that too. And like every time I do one of those, they're like some of my favorites. Because I have actually become friends with people. I'll see them at shows. I'll see those fans at shows, and they'll be like, "Yo, dude!" Like, and we'll drink together, and like it just doesn't become like, "Yeah, I'm your tattoo guy." It's just like, dude, we're drinking at a concert like everybody else,
Now, have you ever looked back and seen how your artwork's progressed?
Oh God, yeah. I want to throw my fucking phone away sometimes though, because I still don't feel like I'm ever there. You know what I mean? Like I think any artist that thinks they've like arrived or their artwork has gotten good should probably just stop doing what they're doing, because I'm never satisfied. After almost every tattoo, I go home and I sit on my phone and I pick it apart and try to think of what I could do better. And but yeah, I mean, I've progressed. Like progression's part of it, but yeah, I feel like you just never progress enough. I joke with my apprentice all the time and say I'm going to fucking die unhappy as an artist. Never going to reach that spot.
You get that perfectionist gene, and it's a strong one.
Yeah.
Now, what Tina just said is that she loves that you draw on the kids too, and that's why she's in love with you.
Tina, that's my favorite thing. Like every year we do it here. We try to do it more. Occasionally I'll have a parent say, "Hey, can I bring my kids down for a Sharpie tattoo?" And I'll say, "Yeah, bring them in." And I'll take a break from my tattoo just so I can Sharpie on the kids. We started doing it when I opened the shop. We did Sharpie tattoos for Autism Day. And we had a lot of kids in here, man, and it makes them really happy. They have a lot of fun. Most of them have clearly never been in a tattoo shop, but my shop is fun looking, and I just love drawing on kids. I love to see them smile, and that makes everything. I would rather do that than tattoo any day of the week.
And you just do it with a shot. You just do it with a Sharpie, and that's it.
Well, we usually the last couple of years there's been a lot of people. So we what we do is we print out pictures. They pick a picture. We make a stencil for them. We put the stencil on them, so they're actually feeling like
they get that experience. That's awesome.
And then we color it in with Sharpies, and it's a lot of fun.
That is wicked. I didn't know that. That is really, especially for Autism Day. That's such a
Yeah, this kid's really they get a kick out of it.
We're gonna have to JP. We're gonna have to collaborate on that.
Yeah,
the autism thing going down and mix them together. Yeah,
I'm always down to do that kind of stuff. Always.
We do. Go ahead, JP. You know more about it than me.
We started years ago, and it's still there, but we haven't done a lot with it. We started wrestling autism, and we were selling Autism 316 shirts to raise money.
That's cool as shit.
So
nice.
We got to come down and put on a show in conjunction with
something
Tattoos for Autism Day.
You let me know when, and we'll do it. Absolutely.
I love it.
Now, Brett, we're at 8:05. We're at 8:02. We're just about to hit the 1 hour mark. Do you want to talk about your social medias and that type of thing, where people can find you? Tell us where the shop is.
Sure. So our shop is in Browns Mills, New Jersey. We're at 558 Lakehurst Road. We're right outside of Fort Dix, about 35 minutes from Philadelphia. A couple minutes from the shore, so you can come and get a tattoo and go to the beach. Although I don't recommend going in the sun.
Get a tattoo, then get sick.
Yeah, exactly. I don't do Twitter or any of that bullshit. I just do Instagram and Facebook. Brett Stuhler Tattoos. That's pretty much it. Tattooing body art on Instagram too.
Instagram is sort of Twitter for a tattoo artist, right?
Yeah, I love Instagram. I'd be on Instagram all the time. Like that's
no words, all pictures.
Yep, just pictures, just art, and I spend a ton of time on there. I go on Facebook a lot just to start shit. That's it.
So guys,
I remember it was a year or so ago. Someone kept reporting whatever you kept doing, and you at one point had like 6 accounts, and then you were like, "Fuck it."
Yeah. So I just got a 30-day ban 2 days ago. For saying all I said was some dude said something about my winky, and I said, you just called my dick a winky. And Facebook flagged me and said, you're bullying, 30-day ban. So I fucking challenged it, and they fucking said, we're sorry, we got this one wrong. And I went, I've been in fucking Facebook jail more than anybody I know.
Play the lottery.
Yeah,
Gotta play the lottery now.
So hold on. Do you do Facebook jailhouse tattoos?
I can. I'm really good at them.
Get the old ballpoint pen.
Yeah, I can do it.
That's Brett. This has been fun. The hour went by extremely quick.
I had a blast.
Yeah,
so thank you.
I usually like the guest side book because he's like, I don't know anything about his wrestling. We're talking wrestling. I'm like, trust me, you'll like it. Last week we had a midget wrestler on who trained with Killer Kowalski back in the day. He went as the Irish Leprechaun. He's local to us. We had him on. JP's like, you're going to run most of it. I'm just going to sit back and listen. I didn't really get a word in.
Oh, that's awesome.
He just kept running. So, yeah, I'm going to keep up with the people I want.
Yeah, man. Yeah, this was a lot of fun. Great conversation. I don't know how much wrestling we talked, but it was fun.
No,
enough to make it a wrestling podcast.
Yeah, exactly. And I'll say this: the pay-per-view was Sunday. Ivar and Erica winning the tag titles. That's my prediction for Money in the Bank.
With it, wrestling is so much more than just what happens in the ring. There's all the different outs of it now because we talked wrestling collectibles. We talked it all. We got a good chunk in there.
Absolutely.
And, we're going to have to do this again when we get down to do the tattoos and wrestling for autism.
I'm down for it, man. I'm here for it whenever you guys are ready.
Thank you, Brett.
Anytime, guys.
Thank you, Brett. Well, all right, everyone. See you next Thursday.